Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 11th of November. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and yesterday we continued to sell off pretty much most of the morning at least, and eventually it's changed course a little bit here, having reached some, well, towards the low side of Thursday's voting there. Thursday's voting. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Looking at the prior lows there. Sorry, October lows. Looking at where we are now. Well, this is the first test, the 4-hourly 8. If it can break this, I would suggest that we could be on for the 21 and perhaps upward. I've got to be careful getting led a little bit by cable in this move, although the euro really hasn't shown any signs of recovering yet. If it, as I say, I think if it breaks that MA, then we're on the move. But looking at the short term here, well, it's a game this morning of the usual. Well, let's see which way this is going to roll. My preference is really looking to the upside. Volatility obviously dropped off yesterday a bit more, but it was still much higher than the previous non-voting day, or voting days even, or as good as any other day that we had lately. So I hope we still get a bit of volatility at least this morning. Of course, it's a bank holiday in the US and Canada, and probably a few other countries, Europe, in some parts of Europe, French bank holiday. So it may be quieter, well, initially this morning, but more so this afternoon. Although there are some results still due out. There's the consumer sentiment, US consumer sentiment at 3 p.m. Not that ever really moves the market, so it's not like we're going to see a major move coming from it. Okay, so really looking for what it shows me this morning. If it breaks through these 60-minute 21s, well, it's become bearish, and break of the trend line that confirms the move. Cable, well, looking at the bigger picture first, and it has broken out, and it's put in a sort of a new high, a new daily high that we haven't seen for a while. It was looking weak at one point yesterday, started failing, but made a miraculous recovery, and it looks now that we could be pushing on for the daily 50. I mean, it's as soon as price starts heading towards one of these key moving averages, it so often is like a magnet, and it's got the potential to run there. That is provided it can break yesterday's highs here. First, it's pushing up pretty well from where we are at the moment, but you notice the initial come through the Asian session there, big candle, and since then we've slowed up a little bit. So I've really got to take the lead from post 8 o'clock and see how it runs. If it does start breaking down, we've got the 60-21s below, which again it often comes towards, and if not that, and if it breaks that, it would be down for the daily pivot. Still would be a respectable day's trading to do that, but in terms of range, nice range in that move, but we'll see how it runs through this morning. But at the moment, current momentum is there, but slowing by the looks of things, the way these bars are moving, there's sort of inside bars, etc. We'll see in the London session, European session, how it moves from here. But if it can get a break beyond yesterday's highs, well, we've really got to be looking for the highs then, and that daily 50 maybe. Right, dollar yen. Dollar yen was a bit of a surprise yesterday. It broke out perfectly and pushed on up through its daily 200 there, beyond what I would have expected as a reasonable move, bearing in mind its normal ranges. Consolidating where we're sitting here. Again, it's a bit like the pound in terms of in the consolidation. Of course, it's inverted, and it's a weakness of the yen as opposed to the strength of the pound. Pushing up from where we are here, really, if it starts breaking out through those highs, I mean, and they're pretty horizontal, almost. If it starts breaking out, well, we've got to be looking for the R1 sort of area. Fails the pivot, well, then maybe it may come back towards the daily 50, 60-minute 50, down to the sort of 105.65 sort of area. Has started moving quite solidly lately, and the way it's moving at the moment, if it can, as I say, I prefer the upside, the way it's put in this continuation yesterday, although it did peter out sort of mid-morning and has struggled to do too much since then. So that may just be a guidance of uh, the strength of the move. But of course, these things happen, and what it hasn't done is sold off. So sort of a mixed message there. If you get a solid movement, a strongish retrace, well, you question whether it's got the oomph to get up there. The fact that it's got the solid movement and the retrace is sitting there, and it could be suggesting, well, actually, it will, instead of making that more solid retrace, it's just consolidating before it takes the next leg up. So just need to watch this, and if it breaks that upper side, maybe we should be looking on the long side. Okay, Aussie dollar. Well, the Aussie dollar surprises us all the time, and yesterday was no surprise in being surprised. It did get extremely, it got pretty overbought as it ran into some shorter time resistance, and it reversed, and it reversed in some key way, and it performed a beautiful Gartley pattern on the hourly pattern here, and it's still got some mileage to go. Although it did hit 2 of its targets, it's still got a 3rd target to run. The fact that it hit both targets, that was a retracement of overall retracement there of 168 pips. Still got some to go on that move there. Now Ed called it in our trading room, is looking at it, and will probably not be in today after that and some trading on the yen. So let's see how we go this morning. But as I say, it's got the possible continuation move down to that 618 there, and maybe more so the daily S1. Now, if we do get any consolidation, if you are looking on the long side, well, there is the daily pivot above us, and if it does change tact at some point, which is always possible, I'd be looking up that way. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Well, just flick onto oil. Oil was not really helped yesterday. It ended up selling off, a little pitch up at the moment, consolidating around this $45 sort of $45 barrel move price action. And what we're seeing here is, well, it looks to me like there's the potential for a further push up. It's been a tricky old one to trade over the last couple of months. We was talking about this. Or last month or so at least, with all this consolidation, I'd say month in time. We've got we're sitting at the moment, it's just air kissed the daily pivot there and pushing up again at the moment, and I mean it's pushing even harder as I'm talking. I would expect it to continue pushing up in that case. There we go. It may break into the R1, into the prior highs there, and maybe onwards. So it is looking at the moment, the Canadian dollar is weak against the US, so we could see that further move up. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. As I say, very little news today. Bank holidays in Canada, the US, France, possibly some other countries. Also, very light volume I would expect this afternoon. Have a great one. Bye for now.